Dan Winkelman knows what it's like to defy the odds. He's a 7-year pancreatic cancer survivor. It's a journey that's fueled another journey. The Stevens Point man is nearing the end of a long-distance motorcycle ride to raise money for pancreatic cancer research. Michael Schlesinger caught up with Dan before he embarked on what he calls a marathon of hope, resilience, and impact.
Dan Winkelman is ready for the ride of his life.
We'll head out to the western part of Nebraska and then up through the Badlands and the Black Hills for a couple nights, and then we'll move from there up into, I think it's Cody, Wyoming, up into Montana, and then we'll go up into Canada, up into Jasper.
The former Stevens Point pastor is traveling on his Honda African Twin Adventure bike from Illinois to Alaska.
We're just praying for good weather.
It's an experience he wants to share with you.
Some of the most beautiful places on the planet. We'll do videos every day.
Along the way, he expects to see reminders of one of the most consequential moments of his life.
I tell everybody potholes are beautiful. They're just beautiful because had I not hit the pothole, I probably wouldn't be here today.
It was on a ride nearly a decade ago. Everything changed.
I hit a pothole and jarred a little bit of the right side of my back. I thought it was just a muscle sprain.
But further testing uncovered something far worse.
That's when they found the tumor on my pancreas.
In 2018, it was determined he had late stage 3 pancreatic cancer. The good news from the start:
but it hadn't yet spread into other organs.
He enlisted the help of surgical oncologist Dr. Doug Evans at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dan underwent intense chemotherapy, radiation, and then eventually surgery.
The second-line chemotherapy was a tremendous success. We then transitioned to radiation therapy and then removed his tumor.
Dr. Evans says what's so frustrating about pancreatic cancer, besides the difficulty of early detection, is the fact such a high percentage of cases seem to come out of nowhere.
85 to 90% of patients with pancreas cancer, it's a sporadic event with no antecedent risk factor or predisposition that we're aware of.
The fear of failure is real. I mean, it's real in every one of our hearts. And that's why we don't try things. That's why we don't step out and try anything bigger than ourselves.
This is what his ride is all about. On a motorcycle from Elgin, Illinois to Anchorage, Alaska, the 3,800-mile trek over the course of a month will raise money for cancer research. He'll be documenting his experience as well with a video blog, so we all can feel like we're part of the adventure.
Surviving pancreas cancer is just that. It's not doable in our own strength. We need others to help. And I'm calling upon everybody to just pitch in a little bit. And let's reach that goal so these amazing people here can get it done for the next person that gets diagnosed, that they'll have a shot at doing what I'm doing.
He won't be alone on the ride. Dan's son Andy is alongside as well.
We've been extremely blessed with a second chance at life with him.
This trip has actually been on their bucket list for a long time, seeing the patriarch spent some of his younger years in Alaska.
And I always was a dream of mine to retrace that trip and go see Alaska and see where my dad went when he was 17. And here's the thing I'll say, we never did it.
But his dad's diagnosis gave him a new perspective.
Don't wait, go do it. And I didn't think we'd be able to make that trip we'd always dreamed about. And now we have the opportunity to do it, and we're going to do it to help raise awareness for other people in his situations.
He knows these kinds of fundraising efforts will go a long way to helping others, but he has advice for newly diagnosed patients in particular.
And there are resources, there are other people, there are other families and other survivors who have been through this, and there are organizations like Sina Magowitz that connect those dots. And that's really, really important.
In the meantime, his father isn't anywhere near the end of the road with what he's doing. He's in it for the long haul. A cure couldn't come soon enough, especially for the ones with odds stacked against them.
More aware of people's suffering and their pain and their desire for health, their desire for hope, their desire for healing. I want to do it for humanity at large.
Try to focus on what are we going to do about it, and the hope that we will have, that we will bring a new, exciting therapy and have a Dan Winkelman result.
And since Dan hit the road, he's found time to share moments from the trip. These are some of his pictures from Iowa, Nebraska, Montana, and a handful of other states along the route. Dan and his crew are expected to arrive in Anchorage, Alaska this Tuesday. Thanks for watching this CBS 58 Sunday Morning Story. Subscribe here and make sure to tune in to CBS 58 every Sunday morning to see more uplifting stories like this. And check out our other playlists on YouTube. You'll find everything from Everyday Heroes to our CBS 58 Hometown series on CBS 58.